For you to reach critical mass with a product, it's not because the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times blessed your product. It's because Lonely Boy 15 embraced your product. And Lonely Boy 15 told his 20 friends, who told their 20 friends, who eventually told Tiffany 517 and Lonely Girl to also embrace your product. And what happens, and this is how Twitter and this is how Facebook happen. It's not because the New York Times saw Twitter or Facebook on the first day they launched and said, aha, we have seen the future. We know with total certainty someday Facebook will have more members than every other country except China and India. So what you need to do is plant many seeds. Put your prototype out there. Cover the earth with it, because you do not know who your Lonely Boy 15 will be.
Called a hackathon. That's where people get together, hackers, no, not really hackers, people who could hack, and we all get together and we actually work on different projects, which we hack out over a period of 2 days. And it kind of works a bit like this: you sort of eat boiled eggs to survive. Good source of protein. This is our hackathon team. We basically sit here for 2.5 days and we hack out a concept that we might have been thinking about already. And our concept is, come over and I'll show you. So what we're building is we're building a hologram fighting app, Block Fight. So what you do is you use a phone and you basically take a photo of yourself and you scan your face onto the hologram, okay? And then the holograms meet other holograms inside the real world, because that's all they are, and they have fights. And you place your hologram, you send it to a street corner, someone else comes along looking for a fight, finds my hologram standing there, waiting for the fight, and you go, righto, let's fight. I lock in 3 moves that I've bought, my hologram. The other player locks in 3 moves that he or she's bought his hologram, and then we go fight, and there's a fight. Both players commit a certain amount of coins to the fight. Coins are like energy, going back and forth. So, you know, if I punch you, that's worth 5. If you kick me back, it could be worth 7. So now I'm -2, and it keeps going until somebody exhausts all their coins, and that the winner takes all the money and the moves of the other fighting hologram. It's a headless hologram because we couldn't get the avatar SDK to work for face scanning, so the hologram goes into the fight without a head. The headless hologram is the winner. That's actually a pretty good look.
The headless look?
Yeah, it's like that. What do you think? You like it?
Yeah.
See, if these guys like it, then I'm onto something. We actually managed to pull off a bit of a surprise in that we thought we had no chance of winning or being anywhere close to on the dice, because we didn't have what we thought was a concept that was complex enough. It was simple enough and big enough as an idea, but not complex enough. But that wasn't the case. They actually thought what we put together was an app that could go big, and we've had an amazing response since then on Twitter, etc., from some of the aficionados of the blockchain industry. So guys who I couldn't have ever fathomed being interested in what we were doing 4 days ago. Yeah.
It's kind of like dancing a little bit.
Like a punch and then a...
Well, he's moving.
Yeah,
It's a little jig.
Isn't that, isn't that like dodging the move?
No,
dance move,
it's
mate.
That's not dodging, it's dancing.
He's in the breaststroke.
The Australian crawl. Imagine doing that and then going, ah! Now that one is wasn't that coming at you? Whoa, fuck! The Block Fight's fight engine, which is where all of the hologram fighting moves are stored, has all kinds of combinations of moves in it. There's too many really for an individual to work out. So the starting point is that you buy your hologram time inside the fight engine and train itself, learn what moves it needs to acquire. Your hologram is actually going to learn to become a super version of you, a concept that we call super AI. So your hologram listens to your phone calls, your hologram looks at your Facebook friends and uses your community to start talking like you, start writing like you, and start even having mannerisms like you.
This is crazy.
And we are rolling. Okay, so we've been making the Dream Channel feature film. Well, I've been making the Dream Channel feature film for about 15 years. We've been making the Dream Channel feature film and XR series for about 2.5 years now. And we're getting to the final bit of the series anyways. Every scene has an immersive element. It could be something you can see in VR. It might have an AR element. There's also very interesting narrative tools like the actual currency Dream Coin, which is the currency of the world in the story. It's the currency that you earn. You get paid in Dream Coin for your dreams. That's the actual how the story works.
It's a pure dream, so it's yours, right? Pure dreams sell for 100,000 credits. Yeah? And that's if they're totally shit. We only stand to make money, not lose it.
Your dreams actually get traded as shares. Frames in your dreams get traded as shares on the stock market and a thing called dream frames.
Come inside and help me keep my share price moving up.
These are all the things that happen in the actual story. And we've built those things. So you can actually buy Dream Coin for real. You can also trade frames in, literally, you can trade dream frames in the film on this Dream Frames stock market that we've created as well. So these are all the narrative tools and the immersive nature of the story. It's not just immersive, it's interactive nature of the story. There's a very similar structure in story-wise to Run Lola Run. Run Lola Run was a very famous film set in Berlin about a girl who runs through Berlin trying to get all these things done, and every time she runs, she changes time in terms of who she runs into and things like that. This story is sort of similar in that Lucy, the protagonist, ventures into her dream world, which is a similar Run Lola Run type vibe, and she runs through her own dream, trying to find certain things.
I need you to progress his dream.
What she does has a direct impact on her real world environment. So she's changing her life by changing her dreams. And then what this becomes is a choose your own adventure story world.
So you can die in your dreams.
So it's been a long process to get this right.
You just may not wake up.
We're almost there. Yeah, fuck Run Lola Run. No, sorry, Dream Channel.
There's so many things that we are trying to do, and if you spread yourself too thin, you will end up with nothing. Yeah.
Well, a common thing on a Monday was like, what are we working on this week? Because it was different than last week.
When someone says there's potential, investment in this space, then whoops, drop all tools. So something we're planning for 3 months. We drop all tools, jump to this new thing.
Yeah, but I think the operations this year have gotten a lot tighter. We've definitely got our verticals well planned this year, and when the resources get to that sort of last 12 months, sort of you start pushing things to the side and focusing on what really matters. And I think we're doing that.
And I've decided to go for a walk to find something tranquil to soothe my brain, because I think I'm going crazy. I think a lot of like where I'm at right now is I'm actually really struggling to keep myself on track, focused, and not like feel that I'm mentally falling off the side of things. We're going to see my son, who is 5, and he is at a skateboard convention thing, and I want to go and say hi. Were you a robot this morning?
Yeah.
Are you still a robot?
No.
And Archie was also trying to count to 1,000 this morning, and he got up to 219. And then he made me stop there so he could resume the count later in the day.
I want to be a farmer and a painter and a gardener and a teacher.
Archie's my 5-year-old son. I have a 1-year-old daughter as well, Minty. And they both live with their mum. Indy, 2 grabs, woo, yeah. The funny thing is when you have kids, the minute before you have your first kid, you're a different person to the minute after. And we're talking like night and day. You suddenly are no longer the most important person in the world. Someone else is, which is a big change. And your whole life becomes devoted to making that child have the best life they possibly can. It's difficult. You know, I'm in a startup situation here. I'm not I don't have a solid income. Lots of potential, like more potential than someone with a stable income. Like 10 times more potential, maybe even 100 times more potential. But it's not easy being in that kind of zone where things aren't guaranteed. Money's not guaranteed, their futures aren't guaranteed. And it's hard, like on your mind. It grates on you with the, you know, how important it is for me to pull this off what I'm doing right now. Because if I don't, then they're the ones that are going to suffer. And then secondly, trying to have enough time to see them. You understand the balancing act going on? The more time I spend on building up Dream Channel and Gazecoin, the more chance of succeeding, but the less time I have to see them. So it's kind of a catch-22.
Now I can start practicing on my skateboard.
That's right. We can practice tomorrow night when you stay at my place, right? Yeah. The thing is, as a startup, you've got to be in everything all the time, and you've got to be hectic. If you're not hectic, you're not doing it. If you're not doing 5 things at once, you're not doing the 1%ers that are going to get you over the line. We had a conversation with some VCs last week, but they basically were very adamant that, oh no, stay focused on Dream Frames. It's very clear as to what it is, and if you start doing other things, it confuses things and whatever, which made us all go, yeah, that's probably what we should do. But a week later, I'm not so sure. Dream Frames is a very clear concept, but you know, it's just about how do we move forward to raise money for this whole venture. The Holograms seems to be moving without us even trying. It keeps moving on to the next level.
My only problem is though, like, do we have enough to get that application to a level where we can raise more money to finish it off? Like, or will we just get it to this half hour, you know, because we just don't have the bandwidth or the resources to get it to a point, and it, you know, and then we pivot then to go, oh, well, Dream Frames is actually where we can get some money.
Last year, we would do Dreamcoin for a bit, and then everything would be Dreamcoin, and then that was dropped, and then Fantasy started, then that stopped. I think keeping all of what we're doing this year on the table that we're actually working on.
This is the first time in my life where we could potentially be a victim of our own successes. We've got, last year we set a whole lot of balls rolling in R&D mode, feeling around in the dark, trying to work out what the way forward was, what tech was going to work. Try this, try that, try this. This year, it seems like all the work we've done last year has resulted in close to 5 separate ways forward are all working. Dream Frames, it's nailing it. Like everyone in LA loves it. We've got our own biz dev team on the ground now in Silicon Valley, urging us to do nothing else other than focus on that. Hologram, we've just received a project plan to deliver it within 5 months, which could be epic. It could change the game completely. It fits into every aspect of what we're doing. And then last night comes Bocky, shouldn't be surprised, with a way forward for integrating the Gazecoin technology with a payment system that already works so that people can actually buy Gaze and get into the ecosystem and have content providers earn from using the technology. They all make sense though, they're not competing things. They all actually turbocharge each other, and they're all as valuable as each other. We're rolling bowling balls down bowling alleys and one of them is going to make a strike. All three of them could be 3 strikes, you know, or it could be 3 strikes, you're out. That's enough. More later.